All right, young man, young woman, old man, old woman. Like, this video is for everyone. So you are here in this world that everyone is saying that is wonderful. You as confused as everyone else because you don't really know what you're supposed to be doing. Really, you weren't given any instructions on how to live. You're actually used to being given instructions. You were trained to expect to be given instructions everywhere you go. You're trained to follow orders. But you are in this world where no one really gave you instructions on how to live, right? You look at this world and you're like, damn, this is really a strange place. And it is really a strange place. And you ask yourself, how am I supposed to be? Who am I? What is my purpose? What am I supposed to believe? How am I supposed to feel? The more you ask yourself these questions, the more confused you become. Until you realize life really does come with no instructions, for real. I'm not supposed to be what society says I must be. I'm not supposed to do things the way other people are doing things. Like, it's really up to me. I can do things the way that other people are doing things. I can be what society expects me to be. I can believe what everyone else believes. But I don't have to. One of the biggest mistakes that you can make as a human, like, this is one of the biggest mistakes, is try to be normal. What do I mean? Society expects you to have children. You're like, yeah, I might have children. Because, well, everyone is having children. If society expects you to go to school, you'll be like, yeah, I'm going to go to school because, well, everyone is going to school. If society expects you to be married, you're like, yeah, I'm going to be married because, well, everyone is getting married. You want to be normal. You don't ask yourself, how is life treating me? What is life showing me? What works for me? What doesn't work for me? The truth is, life isn't treating people the same. If me and you try to achieve something and we do the exact same thing, and I actually do achieve what you're also trying to achieve, it doesn't mean that you will also achieve it because you've done the exact thing that I've done, right? Doesn't mean that you're going to achieve it because you've done the exact thing that I've done. Life is not treating people the same way. So that means that we can't view life the same way. And no matter how you view life, you're not wrong, right? You view life the way that you view it. You view life in a way that actually makes sense to you according to how it's treating you, according to what it's revealing to you. So that means you must own your perspective, right? That means you must own your perspective. If to you it doesn't make sense to have children, it doesn't mean that you must have children because each and every person is having children and people are asking you, hey, why don't you have children? This world will try its best to make you conform, right? It will try its best to actually make you behave like everyone else. It will try its best to make you normal. So if you don't want to have children, it doesn't mean that you must have children. In fact, you must ask yourself, what does it even mean to have a child? One of the best decisions that I've made in this lifetime is not have children. Some people think that I will regret this decision, but I know that I will never regret it. If I had children, I will be regretting that now. Like I would, my heart will be filled with regrets. I think every day when I wake up in the morning, I will regret the fact that I brought people into a world that I myself do not understand, without knowing why I brought them here. Like, why? What was the reason for me to bring them here? What was I thinking? Because that is a big deal. I've given people this experience that I myself do not understand. If they ask me what is actually going on, I will not be able to tell them what is actually going on. I will have brought them here because, well, everyone is bringing people here. But that doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense for someone who's actually operating at my level of awareness. Because I look at everything. I don't just copy other people. I look at everything. I ask myself questions that I believe each and every human being should ask themselves. So I would have brought, innocent people into a world that I don't understand, where they'll have to deal with a lot. They'll have to deal with things that they don't want to deal with because of me. So it means that whatever they go through, they'll go through it because of me. I'm the one who's making them go through what they're going through because I'm the one who brought them here. They didn't have a say. They didn't say, hey, we want to be brought into, the world where you are. That, I don't hear children screaming that they want me to bring them here. So that means that if I brought them here, whatever they go through, it's exactly my fault. That needs to be understood. So realizing that changed my life, really, because growing up, I always felt like I was going to have children. In fact, the reason why I didn't have children when I was young is because I don't want to say poor, but I was broke, right? I wasn't really poor. My dad had a job. He worked as a security guard, but I wouldn't say like he took care of us. He took care of all of us. So I wouldn't say we're poor. I never went to bed hungry, but there are a lot of things that I wanted that my dad couldn't afford. But because of that, I experienced what it's like to want something that you cannot have, and to depend on someone who cannot provide it for you, right? So I was like, I'm not gonna bring a child to this world if I'm struggling, right? If I don't have the things that I want. What's gonna happen if my child cries because they want yogurt and I can't afford that for them, They want clothes. I can't afford it. But I'm still young. I'm still in high school. And who knows? What if it takes me forever to get a job? I could decide that I'm going to have a child while I'm still in high school, because after high school I'm going to get a job and I'll be able to take care of my child or my children. But what if it takes me a while to get a job? And it actually did take me a while to, start figuring my life out. Like, what am I supposed to be doing? How am I supposed to make money? It actually did take me a while. So if I brought a child into this world, that child would have suffered like crazy because of me. Because I didn't realize how broke I am. I didn't realize how hard life is when you don't have money. You see? So it wouldn't have made sense for me to have children. But if I copied everyone else, then I would have had children. It's better to live life according to what you are actually seeing, according to how it's responding to, like, you know what I mean? Like, act in a way that makes sense or that corresponds to how life is actually responding to you, right? If you feel like life is unfair, why bring a child into a world where you don't feel like, things are making sense for you? Why? Try to be as honest as possible with yourself. Stop trying to do what everyone else is doing. Stop trying to be a people's pleaser. That will fuck your life up, alright? Stop that nonsense. If you're a people pleaser, stop that nonsense. That's gonna ruin your life. That's gonna we're already in a hellish realm. I want you to understand that. This is not easy. If you're struggling now, things are hard for you, you're not weak. This is hard. This is really, really hard. Don't make things much harder for you by becoming a people's pleaser or by trying to be like everyone else, doing things for validation and all that. Now that's gonna fuck your life up. So do what really makes sense to you, right? Behave in a way that you can explain. Even if other people think you're a weirdo, it's fine, because people are weird. I actually do think that when you are actually living life right, you're going to be judged a lot, right? When you're actually living life right, you're going to be judged a lot, because a lot of people seem to be living life wrong. They're just copying one another. They're just living for the people who are in power, those who are more powerful than them. They're actually serving those who are more powerful than them. When you look at how, like, hierarchy is, like, where people work, you realize that there's someone who's above them and they're saving that person. Like, you have a supervisor that you're saving, they have a supervisor that they're saving, there's a board, there's an owner of the company and all. Like, you know what I mean? That's how it works here. It's not about you. When you wake up in the morning and go to work, you're not there to serve yourself, really, even though they do give you something. But you're waiting for a person who's much who's been put in a better position than you, right? So that's life. A lot of people that you trying to be like saving those who are above them, whether they realize that or not. They might not be saving them directly, but they're saving those who are above them, because these are the people who run shit. These are the people who make decisions. These are the people who create trends. These are the people who say, this is what's cool. Okay, this is not cool anymore. This is what's cool. You know what I mean? Here's how we must feel. We mustn't feel like that anymore. We must feel like this. You know what I mean? That's why we have social media influencers that are getting paid a lot of money, because they know how we think as people. It's weird that people get influenced. They can make you think that a certain brand is better than this other brand that everyone felt like was dope. Easily. Influencers. You just see them wearing that brand and now you want to wear it. It's crazy. I didn't even know how that even works, because I'm very I'm an independent thinker, right? I'm not easily influenced. I don't even know if I can really be influenced. I'm really, really stubborn. If something doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense. If I follow what makes sense. If something doesn't make sense for me to follow, I ain't gonna follow it. What's gonna happen is that as you get used to being who you are, you'd somehow you're gonna start seeing things as they really are, right? Like you're gonna start seeing things as they really are. See, if you are fake and you're just trying to conform, there's no way you're gonna see things the way that they are. In fact, you will actually lose your ability to think for yourself, because you're not thinking for yourself. You never had to think for yourself. You've never had to decide what makes sense and what doesn't, right? So of course you will get to a point where you don't know how to think for yourself. So don't be afraid to be yourself. Don't be afraid to behave in a way that actually makes sense. The world is a mess today because people are just copying one another, bro. People are just copying one another. They don't even know what's cool anymore. But like, oh, this is what everyone is saying is cool. Okay, this is what's cool because everyone is saying it's cool. They must be right. But when you look at history, you realize that the majority of people have always been like in any situation. It's always been the majority of people who were wrong. But this is why this is a mess. It's because the majority of people are wrong, right? If there's 1,000 people and they have to make a decision, and maybe 700 of them, yeah, make a a decision, and then 300 of them make a decision that opposes that, chances are the 300 is right. It's like, I don't know why it's like that. Like the majority of people have always been wrong. It's usually the minority that's right. So you can't be following the majority of people. I don't know if the majority of people are just NPCs. What, like, I don't know. I can't really say like that. It's just wrong. And we seem to believe that if more and more people think that something is true, something is right, or we must choose something, then they're right. No, it doesn't work that way. I mean, that's why the most popular people in this world are actually dumb. Like the people who are laughing, many people, when you listen to them, you're like, what the why is everyone saying this person is smart? Like, this person is not. It's not even close. What's going on here? Like, the whole thing is upside down, really. So you gotta be yourself. Don't be afraid to be yourself. Don't be afraid to stand for your truth. Don't be afraid to stand for what makes sense. And one of the reasons why that is important is for you, like your own the development of your consciousness, right? You don't want to send messages to your subconscious that you're fake or you're a coward, because you're being a coward if you're just going to be like everyone else instead of thinking for yourself, thinking in a way that actually makes sense to you, and standing for what you believe in, even if it means you're going to suffer for a while. You got to send the right message to your subconscious. If something doesn't make sense to you, it doesn't make sense. You see? If the idea of school doesn't make sense to you, it doesn't make sense. Doesn't mean that you gotta support it. Like how it makes sense, it doesn't. It doesn't make sense for a lot of people. In fact, a lot of people have complained about school. A lot of people have complained about work. It doesn't make sense to slave away for like 40 years. By the time you get pension, you are old. You can't even travel. You're sick because we're eating garbage anyway. You don't even have time to go to the gym. So you are sick, you can't even enjoy yourself, plus you have seen hell already, because we go through a lot as sentient beings. Like by the time you're like 60, you've seen hell. So let's say you start working when you're 20. When you reach 60, they give you your pension. It's not even that much, You have lost a lot of people, you've been betrayed a lot, you are traumatized. You've had grandchildren that you have lost. You have children that no longer talk to you. They hate you. They're talking shit about you. They never even listen to you. You have a child who steals from you. Then, like you've experienced hell. Now you just, You just be sitting alone thinking about all the nonsense that you've had to experience. Like, that's not beautiful, bro. That's not beautiful. So it's better that you live your life in a way that actually makes sense to you, so that you won't make stupid mistakes. I'm so proud of myself, bro. Like, I'm really, really proud of myself because I didn't bring anyone into this room. Like, I'm so proud. Like, every time when I think of that, I'm like, I feel like clapping hands for myself. Like, damn, that's something. You know what I mean? Like, it's not easy to realize that you don't even have to bring a child into this world. Like, it takes a lot to even reach that realization. Like, for me, it took 25 years for me to like realize that I don't have to bring anyone here, and that made me feel free. I was like, shit, I had that option. Like, my whole life, I always was thinking about having a family, you know, getting married, having a family, but I don't have to have children for real. In fact, my life will be much better if I don't have children. What am I really going to benefit? I mean, I'm bringing these innocent people into this realm where they will have to go through the things that I've went through, that they didn't ask to go through these things. It will be because of me. Why? Why do I gotta do that? Who said I must do that? Who said that it is a sin to not do that? Remember, I found myself in this realm just like everyone else, and there were no instructions. You know, just like I was telling you in the beginning, that life comes with zero instructions. There are no instructions. So you don't have to have children. Even if society says you must have children, you don't have to get married. Even if society says you must get married. I know a lot of people who are miserable because they're married. I know a lot of people who are miserable because they're married. They're just copying other people. You know, like, if you grew up going to church, they always talk about marriage, weddings. Oh, like, that's really, really important. Like that means you're successful. So you find that, you know, young men and young women want to get married. I remember this other day, I was chilling with my uncle. Like, he's a lawyer, so I'm chilling with him. So these other ladies came. They needed to. I think they needed advice. One of them was getting married. She needed advice, but they started talking. I was there. They started talking to my uncle, and the lady was saying that, you know, she's supposed to marry this guy, but she's not in love with him. She doesn't love him. She doesn't have feelings for him. But time is running out, and yeah, she wants to get married because she's a Christian, and you know, he's the one who's willing to marry her. Like, she has dated guys that she loves, but you know, they weren't on board with that. That made me think, how many people are married to the wrong people? They're miserable, but they just wanted to be married because society says they must be married. If you don't find the right person to marry, why should you be married? Shouldn't you marry someone because you feel like they're the one for you? Like, you found your soulmate, if there is such thing? If you really want to get married, I'm not against the idea of marriage. I've decided that I'm not going to get married. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to fall in love or live with a woman, but just like the idea of marriage, signing papers and all that, I'm never going to do that shit. It was pressure, really, social pressure. Like, maybe her friends are married, so she's like, I'm married to this guy that I don't love. And you might think that that's a good thing, you know, marrying a person that you don't love. You're gonna start to love. Like, it's just gonna suck. You're gonna be miserable in that relationship, you see, because the guy himself, he won't feel loved, and you also won't love him. Like, you want to love, you want to think about your man and just love him and just smile and just be happy. That's important. You don't just want to be with a person that bores you to death. You know what I mean? And he also doesn't want to be with a person who doesn't love him, because he's not going to feel good. So it sucks. But a lot of people in this world have gotten married because society says that they must get married. I know women who are just looking for guys that will marry them, like for real. You find that a woman is actually looking for a guy that will marry her. She's not even looking for a guy that she loves. Like, her priority is getting married. She's like, I want to get married, so I want to find a guy who's actually going to marry me. Yeah, she get married. It's not like she's going to be able to love that guy. He's not going to be treated well in that relationship. So the whole thing is going to suck because she was trying to, be like everyone else. If you don't find the right person to marry, don't get married. Do what works for you. Life didn't give you that. So do what works for you. Make decisions that actually make sense. If you do find a person that you want to marry, beautiful, marry. Take that risk and see how things go. It's not like, even though most marriages fail, it's not a guarantee that your marriage is going to fail. Like, you can have a successful marriage, especially if you chose the right person. You looked at everything. This person really thinks like me. This person really loves me. We're compatible. We want the same things in life. Nothing is missing here. So let's try. Of course you're going to face challenges, people cheating, marriages, they cheat a lot and all that, but you'll find ways to forgive each other and keep on going if that's what you want. I'm not saying there will be no challenges, but what needs to be realized is that it's important to do what really makes sense for you to do, not what society is saying you must do. Even if things don't end up working out for you because you decided to be yourself and decided to act in ways that actually make sense to you, you look back and be like, at least I did the right thing. At least I followed my intuition. At least I didn't do things out of fear, or because I was being pressured to do these things, or because everyone is doing these things. No. I did what I felt was the right thing to do. So if I fail, yeah, cool. It is what it is. People fail. You know what I mean? Like, life itself is a gamble. It's not like when you do something right, it means that you're gonna win. No, we don't know how this thing really work. It's strange, like lottery. Some people are born in rich families, some people are born in poor families. We don't know what determines where you're born. We don't know what determines your luck. Some people are very lucky when it comes to relationships. We don't know what decides that you are lucky when it comes to relationships, because it doesn't really matter what you do, right? You can be a good person, you can do things the right way, but you find that you're unlucky when it comes to relationships. You could do the right things, you can do things the right way, but you find that you're unlucky when it comes to money. You can do the right things, work very hard, but you find that you're unlucky when it comes to success. You just don't succeed. Things don't change in your life. You still find yourself living in poverty. Who knows what controls this thing? But if you are being yourself, you'll be at peace in the end. Like, hey man, I did what I was supposed to do. Life was what it was. What can I say? Don't be a coward, man. Society wants you to be a coward. Copying other people, that's being a coward. As humans are not like other animals. Now we're behaving like other animals, but when you think deeply, there's something that makes us very unique. Like, we can be different. You know what I mean? Like, I can be me, and I behave in a way that's unpredictable. You can also be yourself and behave in ways that are unpredictable. The problem is that you were forced to be like everyone else, right? So now there's no what word am I looking for? Damn, the word that I'm looking for isn't isn't coming back really. But it starts with D. right? So it starts with the D. Like everyone is the same, right? Everyone is the same. No, it's gonna come back. You remember what I was telling you about how the matrix works? Like when you try to get something that you really like, that you desperately want, chances are you ain't gonna get it. It's like the matrix is gonna like hold it, like, you know, that you don't get it because you are producing a lot of energy at the time when you really want something. So the matrix is like, oh, that's what you want? Shit, I'm gonna make sure you don't get it. Like things that are not supposed to happen will happen for you to not get it, you know. So even when you're trying to remember something, when you try your best to remember it, you just don't remember it, and you're like, what the fuck, you know. We do live in a strange world, and it does work in ways that we don't understand, in ways that are not obvious, in ways that we cannot predict. But yeah, it's real. You can see that you're having an experience. So of course this world is something. As I'm addicted to drinking water, some people think it's alcohol because I used to make my videos drinking alcohol, but you notice that when I would make videos drinking alcohol, you could even see it in my eyes that the guy is drunk, right? The way that I speak, my cadence, you'd be able to see that the guy is drunk. I'm addicted to water, and the thing is, I don't drink that much water. I'm just gonna drink a little bit, and then yeah. Like everywhere I go, I'm always holding this. I'm gonna go to the gym after recording this video. I'm gonna be drinking water from this thing. So yeah, it's more like an addiction, but I get thirsty very easily. So it's not easy for me to like record a video, like an hour-long video, without like drinking water. Yeah, so my advice to you is that don't play by society's rules, alright? No one says that you must follow this rule. Even if they're saying you must follow these rules, you don't have to, because life itself came with zero instructions. You just find yourself conscious in this world. You know what that even means? It means that you can live life the way that you want to live life, for real. Like you can actually live life the way that you want to live life. You can be the most unique thing on earth. Allow people to talk. You can be free. Not give a damn what other people think of you. That's freedom. A lot of people care what other people think of them. You could be so damn free that you don't care. That's you being you. You can live in a car and decide that, you know what, I'm just gonna buy a van. I'm gonna live in a van. I think that this works best if you live in countries like America, because I think there are a lot of people who have lived inside a van and they were fine. Like, I'm gonna live in a van. I'm just gonna drive around, you know, city to city. I'm gonna live in a van, you know. Yeah, maybe get a gym membership. You know, you find a gym that's everywhere in your country. Yeah, so that you'd have a place where you can work out, change clothes, and bath. You know what I mean? Like that's good. You find ways to make money. There are ways to make money. You don't necessarily have to have a job. If I had like enough money and I lived in the US, I would buy a van, and I would travel a lot and find different ways to make money and just be free, you know. Because I think some people, they just won't be, they'll be depressed unless they keep on experiencing change in their life. Like they are not really meant to be in one place and be stuck in that place forever. You know what I mean? Like they want change. So when you are moving from city to city, your brain is not focusing on the things that bore you, right? You're always expecting new things. You're like, hey, what do I expect in this city, right? Oh, this place looks like that place. Oh, the people here are different, man. The people here, yeah, they are very welcoming. You know, that makes you feel better. But do what works for you. Why not? Why not take risks? But you won't be free if you live by society standards. You're like, oh, I'm gonna have a family and all that. Hey, now you have a family, you can't travel. You gotta take care of your kids. If you bring people here, you gotta take care of them. You can't be selfish. They need you. You are the one who brought them here. You can't just be like, yeah, just you're here. I'm also here. You know what I mean? My parents brought me here and they weren't there for me. So yeah. Like, nah. It's your duty to take care of your children. You brought them here. The world doesn't give a shit, and the world doesn't have to give a shit. That's another thing that you must realize. You know what I mean? We don't have to give a shit about your children. We don't have to help them. You must take care of them. You must help them. You must realize that people are cruel. Don't expect other people to take care of your children. Take care of your children because you're the one who brought them here. You must have thought about everything before bringing children into this world. But if you don't have children, you can be free, you can travel. When you have some money, you don't have to think about, hey, I gotta take care of my child, you know, my child needs, you know, they have school and all that. Like, I think society is like really, like the society lies to us when it comes to everything. Because I see people working, bro, they can't even buy clothes for themselves. Like, okay, let's say you're married, you have a job. You're not making that much money. Your wife doesn't work. You're taking care of your family. You don't have time to go to the gym. You don't have time. You don't have enough money to buy your own clothes, like yourself, clothes that looks good on you. You're married. Do you think your life will be great in your marriage? You don't work out. You know, you're gaining a lot of weight. Your wife is looking at you like, damn. You don't dress nicely because you don't have money to, you know. Now she's just with you because you're raising your children. That's it. She doesn't really give a shit about you. She doesn't even think about you. It's like your life revolves around your children. Like that's a scam. So you're raising your children, and you'd hope that one day they're gonna thank you because you've done the right thing. But you might find that they end up suffering a lot because this is a difficult experience that we're having, and you didn't even have enough money to be able to take care of them and you know, put them on. It's a scam. It's actually a scam, guys. It's actually a scam. That's why you gotta think for yourself. We've been lied to. The people who are in power, the people who are privileged, these are the people who tell us how to think, how to feel, how to act. But they want us to do things that benefit them, not things that benefit us. You see? We're not working for ourselves, we're working for them. And that is not a good thing. You gotta work for yourself. Figure out what really works for you. You're a woman, you're beautiful. Decide that I might have 12, no one has 12 children, but I might have 5 children. The next thing, you don't feel healthy anymore. So I don't know, man. You keep on getting pregnant, losing weight, gaining weight. Your husband doesn't love you anymore because he looks at you and be like, what's going on here? This is not the woman I fell in love with. I don't know. And what is that, all of that for? Right? Because society said you must have children. You listen to society. People won't tell you how miserable they are. You have to understand that people are not honest, alright? Go on Reddit and search topics related to like people regretting having children. You see that a lot of people actually regret having children. It's just that, yeah, of course, if I was a parent, I wouldn't be talking about how much I regret having children. Like, that wouldn't be fair to my kids. I would have to pretend as if I don't regret having them, because it just wouldn't be fair to them. You know, I gotta make it seem like I made the right decision, because I mean, how will they feel if I say I regret having them? You know what I mean? I know there's some horrible parents out there who tell their children that, hey, I wish I never had you. Like, motherfucker, you don't have that right. Your child maybe can say that they wish they were never brought here, but you don't have the right to say that. Because you brought them here without their consent, for real. So you don't even have the right to be angry at them. You're the one who is actually gambling, so be mature about the whole thing. Becoming a parent is a serious commitment. Alright? It's serious commitment. Like a very, very serious commitment. I mean, getting married, you can break up, right? You can decide to get to divorce, and it works out well for both of you. But having kids, like, you have them, and you know that you can't abandon them. That's not a good thing. You gotta take care of them. And besides, even if you found a way to abandon them, you have to understand that whatever they go through, it's you who's, like, you know, they will be doing things wherever they are that will be affecting other people. It's you who caused that. It's you who caused that. And they're probably going to have children of their own, and you will have started something that you wouldn't be able to stop. Like, I feel proud to say my bloodline ends with me. Yeah, like, I actually feel proud to say that. Like, it ends with me. Like, it's not a good thing for me to bring another Benedictine here to tell y'all the truth. You'll probably be crazier than I am, because you will have had me as a father. I would have, like, really told him the truth. It's crazy that I would expect to have a son. But nah, it ends with me, man. And I feel proud to be able to be myself, even though society say, yeah, you must live life like this, you must live life like that. Like, nah, man. I've already seen a lot, you know. I would have been making my life much worse than it is by having children. No, life is not working out for most people. They're just resilient as fuck. People are resilient, man. People are so damn resilient. You know how many people don't want to wake up in the morning, but they keep on waking up? You know how many people don't want to go to work, but they keep on going to work? You know how many people feel like giving up, but they never give up? So they feel like giving up. Like, there are people who've been feeling like giving up for more than 20 years, but they never give up. They never even showed signs of wanting to give up. They just kept on going. That's how resilient we are. But that doesn't mean that this is working. You know what life is like? It's like being forced to listen to an artist that you don't like. Doesn't mean that you listening to that artist, you like them. Let's just say they make, like the music is trash, but you're being forced to listen to that music and you keep on listening to it. That doesn't mean that you love the music. It doesn't mean that you love the music. You just listen to it because, well, you're forced to listen to it, and yeah, you just listen to it because you can. You're strong enough to just keep on listening to something that you don't want to listen to. So that's how we are as people. But so damn resilient, man. Like, there isn't a person that in this world that you should think is weak. Like, it's people be strong, yeah, bro. Even the people who end up giving up, they've been strong for too long. So people be strong. So yeah, man, be you, do what makes sense to you. Don't play by society's rules. Don't try to be like everyone else. Don't be a people's pleaser. Just be you. As long as it makes sense to you, be you, to be you. Even if the whole world thing says you're wrong, I mean, you still don't even know what this is. You know what I mean? The whole world, like, listen, the world still could be anything. That's another thing that you must realize. You may find that the world is not what it seems. So even if the whole world is against you, still be like what you must trust yourself enough to be you. Straight up. What if you're in a Truman Show? Everyone in your life is an actor, and you're copying them, like you're living life the way that they want you to live life. You're not benefiting yourself. You see what makes sense, but you're living life the way that other people want you to live. I'm not saying you're in a Truman Show, but I'm saying you still don't know what this thing is for real. Like, that, this is not a joke. You don't know what this is. So really, can you trust other people? Or it makes sense for you to trust yourself. It makes sense for you to act in a way that actually makes sense to you as an individual. Because you don't know what this is. It could be a dream. It might be the only conscious thing here. And you're busy listening to your projections, and they're telling you nonsense because they're not even conscious. And you're listening to them, you're following them instead of following yourself, following your own intuition. You're conscious. Value your own awareness. You know, value your own awareness. Stop living in fear. Act from a place of courage all the time. Act from a place of strength all the time. Think from a place of strength. Make decisions from a place of strength. You know, don't be weak. Like, in any situation that you find yourself in and you have to make a decision, ask yourself, am I being strong or am I being weak here? If you see that you're being weak, then you rather make up for it later if you can't be strong at the time. But don't be weak. Always make the best decisions that you think you can make, so that you can actually steer your life towards the right direction, so that you can, be more free. You see, the more you suffer, the more you become like demoralized, the more you lose motivation. It won't even be easy for you to figure out how to free yourself in ways that you want to free yourself, because you're so damn demoralized. You don't have motivation. You are traumatized. You know what I mean? Like, you become less of what you used to be. So that's not a good thing. That's not a positive thing. So you need to be the strongest vision of yourself, right? You need to be the strongest vision of yourself. And you can only be that if you play by your own rules. You do what actually makes sense to you, even if it doesn't make sense to other people. As long as it makes sense to you, that's good. Like that's good enough for you. Always keep in mind that you don't know what this is, and that is weird. You look at the clouds and you're like, what? What is that? You look at the sky, it's blue. What is that? It rains. What is rain? You look at other humans. What are they? Water. How did I know that water was gonna quench my thirst? Like, I do believe that if you raise the human in a lab, right, where you weren't actually like giving them water, like they weren't drinking water like this, maybe they had some tubes and they were consuming water that way. And then after maybe 20 years, you let them out. And there's water, like you put them in a place where there's water, there's fruits, there's all kinds of food. And they feel thirsty, they will know exactly what they need to do. They will know exactly what they need to do. Like they will know that they need to drink water. If they feel dirty, they will know that they need to bath. It's crazy that we would know that. This reminds me of this joke by Joe Rogan. He was talking about how cats are like men. He's like, I have a cat, a 2-year-old cat. That cat has never been outside. But one day it saw a squirrel through the window, and it went like, it made this involuntary cat noises. I don't even know how it makes those noises, but it made these noises. So it's like men are like that. It's like if you put a man in a lab for maybe 20 years, and he's never seen a naked woman before. And then you show him a naked one through a glass. And as soon as he sees it, it's like, trying to fuck. It's kind of like that. It's like we just know some things as humans. You just know some things. Like, you don't know how you know these things. I mean, even like animals, man. Like, I think this other day on YouTube I found like a video of this other spider making the web thing, but it was very creative. I was like, how did it like it's not like it was taught, it just knows how to do that. So this world is strange. We're really in a strange world. So really, you gotta be you. Maybe you know how to be yourself, right? Maybe you know how you've been programmed. Maybe if you try to play by society's rules, you are betraying yourself somehow, and you're gonna suffer more. Because of course, if you try to behave the way that society says you must behave, and you find that it's not in alignment with who you are, you might not be able to behave in ways that actually benefit you, right? I think like Einstein said about like a fish, like if you judge a fish by its ability to fly, it'll spend the rest of its life thinking that it's stupid. It's like that. Like you're trying to be like other people, forgetting how to be yourself. So the more you try to be like other people, the more you forget how to be yourself. But the more you focus on being yourself, the better you become at being you. So you'll actually be effective as yourself, even if